job if my boss knew she'd fire me. That's fine, the New York Times would beg to hire me. Till then I'd log alone. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, this is, we all live on the same planet. I breathe the same air as Bobby Kennedy Jr. I eat the same food. He doesn't exist on a higher moral plane than me or anybody in this room. Okay, we all want a clean planet. We have laws and regulations in place that make this a clean planet. The U.S. is such a clean country because we are so wealthy. Okay, across the world, the wealthiest countries are the cleanest countries. The poorest countries have the worst environment.
A billionaire estate plan doesn't look like the sort of thing that would affect you. The Supreme Court, found the preemption didn't apply, found that the probate law exception didn't apply in that case, shipped it back to the Ninth Circuit, which is hearing arguments. But keep in mind, J. Howard Marshall was not just a professor at Yale Law School. He was a professor of wills and trusts at Yale Law School. And he took great pains to put together an ironclad estate plan, whereby the money that he had made would be protected and would go to the uses that he intended. And what you've seen is a situation in which the lawyers have just done a dodge and weave and a venue selection scenario in order to try and evade this clear plan. In which you've got pillow talk being elevated above his clear written intentions.
The issue here is that during the brief 14-month period that they were married, in which he gave her between $6 and $7 million in cash, in houses, in cars, in jewelry, whether or not her claim that he made oral representations to her on a semi-regular basis that he would leave her the lion's share of his estate should outweigh the actual written directives that he authorized by his legal team. I've been discussing the Ninth Circuit and some of the pending cases that demonstrate, the types of controversies that are coming before the Ninth Circuit, cases that have broad implications, how they affect the law, and my hope and expectation that the Supreme Court is going to be sort of a referee to neutralize some of the more extreme decisions that might be coming out of the Ninth Circuit. And my warning that if the Supreme Court's makeup changes substantially, instead of being a referee role, they may be one of the more active players in the game of lawlessness that sometimes happens with the Ninth Circuit. Oh, well, I've been really excited about them. I've done now 4 of them, and I find that I get actually a lot more interest in following some of the cases. I have been dealing with some of the mainstream media, and you really have to take like a hammer and hit them to get sort of the impact to fully understand some of the consequences. I find that a lot of the bloggers are a lot more informed about some of the issues, and B, if they aren't, they do their homework and they look into it. And I find I get a lot more traction and a lot greater ability to share some of my concerns when I go to these bloggers briefings. Well, I've gotten quite a bit of attention, but not because the media, quote, is doing their job per se. I've been invited to do a 10-campus speaking tour on the subject, and probably about halfway through that process, the media said something must be really of interest that you keep getting invited by all of these campuses to talk about it. And so finally, like the Los Angeles Times will say something. Plus, I like to write myself, and so I've been writing columns and appearing on programs like Roger Hitchcock's show, and it's getting some attention, at least in the area that I'm focused on, which is the Ninth Circuit.